Hi, I'm Mars from StrataGames, and today we're playing some more Premodern. This is an 112 card mono white Stax / control deck by Eskpo. This is a deck that got a trophy several weeks ago and sparked a lot of discussion because of the fact that it's just such an outrageously large deck. For, I wouldn't say no reason, but there's certainly no battle of wits or specific reason that we can see why the deck is so large. But they got a trophy with it, so the deck must be good, right? I believe they did mention online part of the reason was because it's just such a hard control deck that having more than 60 cards made it so that your win con inevitably would be your opponent milling out, if nothing else. So I suppose there's that. I will say I've really been enjoying Premodern. I've made a few videos of it on the channel. My main issue with the format is that I feel like many games go very long, and I'm not really solving that issue by playing probably one of the slowest decks in the format with an enormous amount of potential variance. But this deck was just so outrageous, I couldn't really pass it up. So let's just start going through the deck list. Let's start at the top. Our few win cons are Decree of Justice and Eternal Dragon. Eternal Dragon's also a very slow way to get out some lands from your deck, of which we have 45, but it's also a 5/5 flyer that will eventually, hopefully, win us the game. We're playing so many board wipes here. 4 Routes, 2 Winds of Wrath, 4 Wrath of God, and 4 Humility, which is mostly a board wipe, turning everything into just 1/1s. We are playing a Peace of Mind to gain some life, 3 Ray of Revelation to destroy pesky enchantments, Seal of Cleansing also for artifact and enchantment removal, Ensnaring Bridge, a fan favorite, 4 Icy Manipulator, a Mishra's Helix to act as a giant Rishadan Port, essentially, Grafted Skullcap, which makes us discard our hand at the end step, but draws us a new card every single turn. We have a bunch of mana ramp with Mindstone, Marble Diamond, and Felwar Stone. Graveyard Hate with Phyrexian Furnace. We have a Cursed Scroll as removal or another win con, Source to Plowshares, and Enlightened Tutor to find any of our various artifacts or enchantments that we need. In our lands, we have 16 plains and a forest. The forest is for the flashback on Ray of Revelation. We also have Windswept Heaths to help find that forest. 2 Kildaran Outpost to make some more soldiers. Dust Bowl for land destruction as well as Wasteland. Thawing Glaciers as extremely slow mana ramp or card advantage. I guess it's not really ramp, but card advantage it certainly is. Rishadan Ports, Mishra's Factories, and a couple Core Havens to help keep us alive. In our sideboard, some Disenchants, another Ray of Revelation and Peace of Mind, Sacred Ground, Abolish, Ivory Mask, Cursed Totem, Zurin Orb, and Tormod's Crypt. So, strap in for probably a long one, and let's take this for a league and see how we do. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. We are on the draw here. We have an interesting one, 2 Rishadan Ports, but we do have white mana with our Marble Diamond. Phyrexian Furnace can be decent. We can get to Humility on turn 3, assuming we can hit another white source. Seal of Cleansing could be okay depending on the matchup. I mean, I don't think this hand is amazing, but I think we'll give it a try. Obviously, if we didn't have white mana at all, I would not keep this. They start with a Portent. Could be a number of different decks, but the main one would definitely be Stifle Knot. They're going to draw. Get a Winds of Wrath, Rishadan Port, and I accidentally passed. I should have played this Phyrexian Furnace. Might not be a big deal. Oh, Phyrexian Dreadnought right away. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. We have the Seal of Cleansing. Unfortunately, we don't have a white source. If we get a Plains here, we can destroy this, although they could have a Daze to protect it. We get a Humility anyway, so it doesn't matter. Marble Diamond. And now, if they have just any counterspell, we're just going to die the next turn. If they don't, we could Seal of Cleansing, pop this. If we get another white source untapped, I could play 2 Seals of Cleansing, maybe get through a counterspell. That could potentially keep us alive. Another Rishadan Port. I suppose we can play that and probably play around actual counterspell by tapping one of these. I could do this in their upkeep. Well, I couldn't play around counterspell this way. So do that and pass to my second main phase, Seal of Cleansing. But if they have Daze, another Vision Charm, even a Stifle, anything would stop the Seal of Cleansing. And they have Vision Charm right now, using that mana. Well, we can still Seal of Cleansing in their upkeep, but if they have another Vision Charm or something, yeah, they have the Daze. Well, Our hand was a little bad, or a little slow rather, and they had the turn 2 Stifle Knot, which they generally don't, but they did this time. This is what disenchants and abolishes are for, though. Peace of Mind doesn't seem extremely helpful. Ray of Revelation, I don't think they have enchantments to get rid of. And Snaring Bridge, Resolving should basically just win us the game, I think. Winds of Wrath is really expensive. All right. We have okay hand, I suppose. We start with a Thawing Glaciers. They Portent. Draw a card. We play Plains. I'm just going to activate the Glaciers. Sack a Polluted Delta. They're blue-black. That's interesting. I'm not sure I've seen that before. And Duress. I mean, I could like Enlightened Tutor before they take it, because Enlightened Tutor could grab like Ensnaring Bridge, which would be really good. But then I don't get to use Glaciers. Plus Humility is probably good enough too. Yeah, they could take one of these, I think. That's fine. They take Humility. Of course, Tutor can also just find another Humility if I really wanted. Use the Glaciers. Search for a Plains. This bounces back to hand. Icy Manipulator. So we'll cast Felwar Stone and Phyrexian Furnace, replay Glaciers, and we'll pass. I also probably should try to play fast, because if I do get to the point where I'm in a commanding position, it's probably going to take a while to actually win the game. Another Humility. I could just play an Icy Manipulator here. If I play Icy, I have to not use my Glaciers though, so I think I probably just want to... I also get dazed. There's no reason to get dazed, I think, in this deck after turn, 2 or 3. So I think we're just going to pass. We can activate Glaciers, then Enlightened Tutor. Also hold up Phyrexian Furnace if we really want. Another Polluted Delta. There's a Dreadnought. Stifle. It's got Trample, so I can't even make a 1/1 that's going to make that big of a difference. Let's activate Glaciers. I think I'm just going to exile a card from the graveyard here, and then we'll Enlightened Tutor. We get a Plains, so we're gonna have 6 mana. Enlightened Tutor. They have Counterspell mana. I mean, obviously I can grab Ensnaring Bridge, but that doesn't... I can't play that and like a Humility in the same turn. Could go for a Seal of Cleansing, and then Humility. That might be the better choice here, actually. Thawing Glaciers returns. So Seal, see if they want to counter that, which they do. And then I'll Humility and hope they don't have a Daze, I suppose. They have a foil. Well, that worked. Discarding an island and another Dreadnought. I do have a Manipulator. If that resolves, we can survive. They would have needed to draw just a counterspell immediately, but if that's what they got, they drew an Annul. Well, I think those are 2 pretty lucky games for them, to be honest, but I guess that's fine. Alright, we have a couple board wipes. Definitely a slower one with Thawing Glaciers, our favorite card ever, but a Swords to Plowshares helps a little bit. Wooded Foothills into Forest, Mox Diamond, and a Sylvan Library. So I'm going to guess they're like Selesnya Armageddon, probably. Armageddon definitely can be bad for us. We kind of need our lands, but they mulligan pretty low. Thawing Glaciers can help a little bit. Karplusan Forest, I guess they could just be Naya or something. We're just playing a Terravore right away. Probably going to activate Glaciers here. I don't need to Swords yet, unless of course they go for a like Armageddon right away here. Keeping a bunch of cards off that library. Nimble Mongoose. Well, if they did have a way to blow up our lands, that's unfortunate, because I could Swords the Terravore, but them having a Mongoose would definitely keep them with a threat. Devastating Dreams. That's funny. I was brewing a deck with this a couple weeks ago. Discard X cards at random, which was 2. Each player sacrifices X lands of their choice. It deals X damage to each creature, which I suppose this is going to put the lands in the graveyard and this, so the Mongoose should survive exactly at 7 cards engraved. Well, we're going to activate Glaciers. I get a land, so I get to keep 1 here. I will get rid of the Glaciers, obviously, so it currently doesn't do me any good. If I have no lands, that is. Yeah, Mongoose survives as a 3/3. Pretty unfortunate. Obviously, Plains would be pretty good. I could exile Terravore, but we have a Mongoose that's going to kill us pretty quick. If I can't get a Plains here, or any land actually could let me play our Stone, or my Felwar Stone actually doesn't tap for anything currently, but Mind Stone, also our Plains Cycle on the Dragon. Also, Swords lets them draw more cards off of the library, is unfortunate. We do get a Plains though, so I'll play Mind Stone. We might be okay if they don't destroy our lands again, because next turn I can play Felwar Stone, cycle a Dragon for a Plains, and then I can route the following turn, or Winds of Wrath. Swing for 3. I guess if they have another Terravore, we're probably going to die, but they don't play anything there. Play Felwar Stone, Plains cycle, play that and pass. They swing with a Mongoose, we're down to 4, and they have another Devastating Dreams. So we lose 2 Plains, which means I can't Winds of Wrath. I need to... Alright. No, Fellwar Stone doesn't tap for anything anymore. Oh, God, that's so annoying. If it did, we could at least get to 5 mana next turn. I could go to 1 and then blow it up, but now it doesn't matter because I could cycle this. Unless they play a land, and then I draw a land. We'll cycle for plains. Yep, Fellwar just doesn't tap for anything. We'll pass the turn. Fellwar Stone, really bad against the deck that wants to blow up all its own lands. Swing for 3. They smartly don't play a land. I get a swords, but I can't target this. I guess I can draw off of this Mind Stone, but I don't know what I can get. Furnace. That would have been good earlier. I mean, we are somewhat prepared for this with Sacred Ground, but it's a one of. Obviously, we have Enlightened Tutors to grab it. Tormod's Crypt. Probably just reduce our expensive cards here. Although the board wipes are good. Maybe Zurin Orb to gain us life in case they're going to blow up our lands anyway. We just drew like all of our 5 mana board wipes. If we'd drawn like a Humility, a Wrath of God, anything like that, we would have been just fine. 1 land is not going to cut it. Alright, 4 land with some board wipes. We'll get rid of the route, but if we can get down the Icy Manipulator quick, that would be good. Rashadan Port might help a little bit, although less so with their Mox Diamond. Library again. We also have a lot of ways to blow up Library, and we did not find it last time. Play a port, tap their Brushland, kept 1 card, and they get a Wasteland for our port. Another Mongoose. I don't want to Wasteland them until I have a way to... I don't want to use it before I get to my 4 drops. I also played the Factory so I could block the Mongoose, but I maybe should just have played another Plains in case they have another Wasteland. I get a mountain here. Call the Herd. I'm just going to get a Ensnaring Bridge down while we can. It doesn't do anything this turn, but it will as I play more things. Although it's pretty bad when your lands get blown up and then I can't deploy my cards. They play Rith's Grove, bouncing a mountain, Werebear, and then they're going to blow everything up for 2, which means I'm not going to be, keep these alive. I can't Wrath of God. This is infuriating. Kildare and Outposts. You have to sacrifice the plans to play this? I didn't fully read that. That's crazy. Play Mishra's Factory. Pass. Part of me wants to complain I'm not getting the right cards from my deck, but also I think that's what happens when you have a deck that's twice the size. Okay. They have won the game. Fantastic. Alright, we're on the play. We have a bunch of lands and some interaction for the opponent. Let's see if I can survive this one against red. Gonna Rashadan Port them. Another Jackal Pup. Casting Ensnaring Bridge doesn't do much right now. So I think I'm just going to pass with and use the port again. Although I guess I actually want them to play more things out because I want to Wrath of God them. So maybe I should have just played the bridge. Oh well. We'll take 4 here. Sack their Mire. Cursed Scroll. Mog Fanatic. Seal of Fire. Mishra's Factory, and we'll Wrath of God. We're going to take 1. Seal could deal us 2. We have a bunch of ways to blow up the Cursed Scroll, even in our main deck. We'll see if we find any of them. They're going to Flame Rift for 4 damage to each of us. I guess we play Mishra's Helix. I could start attacking them with like the Factory and get a Kildare and Outpost down. Helix is really not very good against the Cursed Scroll, because if I tap all their lands, they can still just use Curse Scroll. Although I guess if they have cards in hand that they can't deploy, Scroll becomes pretty bad. So maybe it's okay. They're going to Bolt us on the end step though. Curse Scroll in our upkeep. So we're at Virtual 2. Incinerate revealed. So I die in my upkeep. Or in their upkeep. Because they incinerate and Seal of Fire and I can't do anything. Okay, we're dead. This deck doesn't seem very good, I gotta be honest. We get 2 more Peace of Minds. Maybe some Abolish over Ray of Revelation. Maybe not even Abolish, just Disenchants are probably good. Helix doesn't seem necessary. 3 mana here. We got Graveyard Hate. Enlightened Tutor can find Peace of Mind or something. Sure. Phyrexian Furnace and pass. Another Furnace. Pass the turn. They go for a Foothills. Grim Lavamancer. Seal of Fire. So Enlightened Tutor might just want to find like a Humility or something. But we don't have our 4th land. Kind of think I just want to pop one of these Phyrexian Furnaces. There's our 4th land. Core Haven will pass. Swing for 3. Mountain. Sulfuric Vortex. Well, Peace of Mind doesn't seem very good now. I think I have to get a Disenchant for that. And by that I mean Seal of Cleansing. Unless I have something better that keeps us alive. No. Seal of Cleansing for the Vortex. Play that and pass. Sack Wooded Foothills. Swing for 2. Can I exile the bottom card from their graveyard? They can Seal of Fire and then Grim Lavamancer me in response if they really want to. Which it looks like they will. Then I will blow up their Vortex and pass. It feels like we're going to die to this as well. Maybe this deck isn't very good. I'm sure I'm not playing it perfectly, but it feels like I'm not playing it that imperfectly either, if I have to be honest. I should probably Enlightened Tutor for a Peace of Mind as the way to survive here. So I could Decree of Justice for 1 to blow up this Jackal Pup, or I could just Core Haven it. I'm going to have to sack this one Sub Teeth, so I'm dead to like an Incinerate anyway. So here's Decree of Justice. Yeah, they're just going to Incinerate and then Fire Blast. We are dead. All right, let's see if we can get any wins at all with this deck. We have 2 colorless lands, but a Marble Diamond, then Swords. We're on the draw. Based on other games, this might be too slow, but I feel like with this deck, you probably don't get rid of a hand like this, like that just has reasonable cards. Mox Diamond is not what I want to see if they're playing another land destruction deck, though. Although Treetop Village, yeah, Weathered Wayfarer probably is land destruction in some way. We do get a Plains. That means I won't get Wastelanded. I could Swords this Weathered Wayfarer, but on the play, it's probably fine. I know they have tricks to be able to use it, but I think for now we're probably fine. Sylvan Library, they're going to attack. I'm definitely taking 1 because they could have a land they're sandbagging for the Wayfarer to be able to use next turn. I am going to play a land though, so I think I might want to Swords it now, because if they don't have the land, it's pretty decent. Yeah, I think I do this, and then I want to get a Marble Diamond to ramp, but I should probably Seal of Cleansing one of these 2 cards. Mox Diamond sets them back, but Sylvan Library can get them out of this potentially. I have a Dust Bowl, although I'm a little bit away from using it, so like I could just blow up their lands. I think I should probably get rid of the library. That's my thought. Makes it harder for them to find more mana. They have another library, so obviously that feels bad now, but no way to know that that was what they had. Well, now we Mind Stone into Marble Diamond. They keep all 3 of the cards. They naturalize our Marble Diamond, and they have a Wasteland, so they can set us back on mana quite a bit here. Definitely annoying. We do get a Mishra's Factory. I could pay 4 mana to Dust Bowl, basically wastelanding their Treetop Village to cut them down. I don't really want to be losing my lands, though. Not yet. I think I should just cycle our Eternal Dragon for Plains here, in case they have more Wastelands. We'll go more into Plains instead of playing like factories and stuff. They still didn't hit a land drop last turn. Oh, what am I talking about? Yes, they did. They hit the Wasteland. They weren't going up in mana, I suppose, but bringing us back down. I will say Ponza's not my favorite archetype, and it feels like every single deck is Ponza in Premodern because of the prevalence of Wasteland, which is sometimes necessary, but also like Dust Bowl, and then also the actual Ponza decks floating around. They get a Gemstone Mine and a Mox Diamond, discarding some Ruins, and they're going to Armageddon. Lightning Angel. Okay, fair enough. I can route that. Double route. I don't necessarily need to do it right now if I want to use my mana in any other way, but the only other way is like Dust Bowl, and then I'm down on mana. So I think we are just going to blow up the Angel. Definitely an interesting one I wasn't expecting from the mostly green deck so far. Put both cards back, and they have a Call to the Herd. Ritz Grove bounces the Gemstone Mine. So I'll probably crack the Furnace to get the call this turn, unless I just want to route them both next turn. Yeah, I guess that's probably better. Tap their Treetop Village. Although again, I know they have a Gemstone Mine, so this is probably fine, but like, if I want them to cast the Call of the Herd, tapping their mana might be awkward if they end up not, but again, I know they have the ability to cast it if they want to. They do flash back Call of the Herd. We'll take 3. I still don't really have enough lands where I want to be using Dust Bowl, so I think we're not gonna. I don't really want to crack the Mind Stone for the same reason. Decree of Justice. Blow up those elephants. Sylvan Library. They took 8 early, but haven't drawn any additional cards to the library since. Another Call of the Herd. This one I might exile from the graveyard. Treetop Village booting up as well. I think we will just take out the call. Getting a Core Haven and another Furnace. So I can make an Angel here. 1 Angel. I would love to make 2. We have 7 mana. So I can Rashad and Port the Treetop Village if I want for 2. Play a Furnace, and I could even Core Haven this. So actually I have everything under control now. I think they have Call the Herd again and a Wasteland for the Core Haven, or any of our other our other lands, but doing the Core Haven would make it so their elephant gets to attack, because this can only target attacking creatures. Yeah, so I could boot up Factory and trade with the elephant there, although then I'm losing another land, but I can't really afford to do nothing. I'll exile Call the Herd again, get a Rashad Port. Yeah, I guess we will give itself +1/+1 and trade with the elephant. I think I am just going to make a 4/4 Angel. This is my way to block here, deal with the Treetop Village, assuming they don't have any removal in the top 3. They can't get by, and then I can start tapping. I should have maybe just blown up the village a while ago, but like we had 6 or even 7 mana, and it just feels like we don't have enough for everything that we have. Also, we do still have this Eternal Dragon I can get back at any time, but 5 mana is just a very steep cost, so I've not had the ability to do that yet. Put 2 cards back on top, do animate the village, and I have ways to tap down and blow up the village, so I should probably just block the elephant here. And they have fire, sure, so trade with the angel. I guess I could get back the dragon now, and then I can still have Rashadan Port for this. I think that's fine. Plains, pass to them. I'm not going to tap it now. They have plenty of mana, and I might as well make them waste the 2 mana to animate it if they want to attack. Put 2 cards back on top. Windswept Heath, so they can shuffle those cards away. They're going to activate the Treetop Village. We'll tap it down. Snaring Bridge, well that's something. It's been a little while. I probably just cast Dragon and try to win with that in 2 turns. And hopefully that can block the village and stuff, so I don't need to worry about anything. But they do get to look at 3 fresh new cards. So if they find a Swords or something, which I assume they'd be playing since they have white, or just an Ice would do it too. Like, we're not dead this turn if they get to attacking with the village, but still. This does prevent them from using the library. Keeping a card, that is, unless they have a way to kill the dragon. So they do put 2 cards back on top, and they concede. All right, we won a game. Look at that. Disenchant seems decent. Abolish 2. I mean, we saw a bunch of Mox Diamonds, Sylvan Library, Call the Herd, and Lightning Angel. And I guess we don't have that much of a sideboard. But I guess some Disenchants instead of the Ray of Revelations allows us to blow up Mox Diamonds if that's what we want to do. Wasteland, Thawing Glaciers. I mean, if they Wasteland us right away for the Glaciers, it's really bad. But if not, it's okay. We'll give it a try. Windswept Heath for Nimble Mongoose. So they're playing that as well. Definitely a faster start, which is going to make things a little problematic with our pretty slow start, I think. Mox Diamond and Rashadan Port to tap down our Glaciers before I can use it. Or they could just like call the herd or something here. Terravore, sure. Play a Plains. Snaring Bridge is going to take too long to get to, unfortunately. Humility might be good enough, though. If I draw 1 land and they don't have a way to blow it up. Activate the Glaciers. I'm going to get ported here, though. Oh, never mind. So I could Fellwar Stone and then Disenchant, maybe? I could play Glaciers, but that doesn't feel great right now. So yeah, let's Stone. They have a counterspell. What is this deck? Okay. I guess we were annulled out of their green deck. I mean, I know they're playing red, blue, and white with the Lightning Angel, but okay, Wasteland. Swing for 5. Feels like we're not going to get to Humility before we die. They're going to tap us down, and I'm probably not going to have anything else to play, so I might as well just disenchant this diamond. Wasteland. So I could Wasteland their port, but we're just dying and actually dying faster. If I play Glaciers, then even if I draw an untapped land, I can't Humility the following turn, which is our best way to win. Like, if I play Glaciers, I probably just lose, so let's just play Wasteland. If we don't lose a land, they don't port us, and we draw an untapped source, I can Humility and maybe survive for a bit, but they're going to port in the upkeep. I see Manipulator. Now even if I get to Humility, I'm going to die because there's still just 1/1s that can attack. I'll be at 1, so let's just go to the next game. Alright, we have 3 lands, some disenchants. I guess this is kind of 2 lands, isn't it? Well, we already kept it. It's really tough playing this card when everybody already is trying to blow up our lands, and now we're blowing up our own lands. They mulligan to 5, so maybe that'll give us a chance. They play a Mox Diamond, which is kind of what I wanted to see with these disenchants. Same with the Library. I'll probably get rid of Library first, though, so it doesn't draw them 3 cards here. If they have another, we have backups of our own. They have a Wasteland. There goes our factory. And they have a Weathered Wayfarer. I guess that's what the Outpost is for, making it so they can't Weathered Wayfarer us. I mean, I guess I'm gonna play this. I think I should just blow up their Mox Diamond, because then they don't have any colors of mana. And I could play a Fellwar Stone, but unfortunately it doesn't tap for colorless. It's only colors of mana they could produce from their lands. So here, hopefully we're just at a standstill, and we have a lot more cards in our deck, but also a lot more lands to draw, so maybe we get there first. Oh, of course. They have a Trevor's Ruin, and now we pass. Their 1/1 is useless. Rashadan Port. They're gonna not tap us down, interestingly, but we have nothing to play either way. They're getting all the lands. Gemstone Mine. Now they're gonna tap us down. We do get a Plains, though, and they have a Wasteland. What a game. What a format. Tap down the Plains. Lucky enough to draw Core Haven. Let's see if Weathered Wayfarer goes the distance. Just need one more untapped land, and I could start playing Mana Rocks that can actually do something now. They swing for one. Treetop Village, that's going to be a problem. This costs so much mana to cycle that I can't even do that in our upkeep. Grafted Skullcap, that's what I was hoping for. Get rid of a Seal of Cleansing. Pretty sure we're going to die now. Treetop Village, going to start killing us. A little faster than the Wayfarer by itself. Swing for 4. They tap our Plains. We get an Eternal Dragon, which I guess next turn can Plains cycle in our upkeep. Activate Treetop Village. They're going to port. I guess I'll Plains cycle. It'd be better if I just draw a Plains so I could play like a Mana Rock this turn, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen. And then we kind of have the cards we need, because if I could get Ensnaring Bridge down and then Skullcap and discard my entire hand, they couldn't attack ever. But I'm never going to be able to deploy those, so I guess maybe if I get like a Wasteland to blow up their Treetop Village, keep me around for like a turn. Another Skullcap. Alright, well, we lost. Alright, last round here. Can we get not just a game win, but a match win? We'll find out. That one is not good enough. This one we have some lands. I think we'll get rid of the Furnace, although obviously it could be good depending on the matchup. Start with the Plains and pass. Portent. Blue-black right out of the bat. Right out of the gate. Or right off the bat, I think that was a bit of a Malefor I made there. Anyway, they draw a card. I'm done getting Wastelanded super early, so I think we just do this. Play a Felwar Stone and pass. They duress. That's pretty annoying. Gonna get rid of our Icy Manipulator, which was gonna be pretty good. And they're gonna portent us now. They can rearrange the top 3 cards of our library or have us shuffle if the cards are all pretty good. Not exactly sure what that means. Usually you want to use this on yourself. Maybe their hand's already amazing, and so they just want to make sure we can't mess it up. Maybe since they just duress, they just want to have like perfect information on what we're gonna have for the next couple turns. That is reasonable too. I assume we're not gonna draw a 4-drop. Oh, well, maybe they just have a daze. Do we think that's what it is? They gave us the 4-drop on turn 4 so they could daze it. I don't know if that's too paranoid, but I feel like why else would they, like, the other 2 cards would have had to be really good, which I can't imagine what they would be, like Mana Rocks or something. So I kind of just want to pass here. I mean, they missed a land drop anyway. No, it's only their turn 3 now. Never mind. I was thinking if they'd missed a land drop, then dazing is even better if you didn't have a land already to play, but that's not the case. Zombie Infestation. Ah, that's what they're playing. Okay. Squee and Krovikan Horror. And this card to your hand. Huh. It's pretty good. So they get like a free 2/2 every single turn. I mean, I think we cycle this. Of course, I got rid of the Phyrexian Furnace when we are in fact playing against a graveyard deck. Ensnaring Bridge is going to be really good. For now, we'll just Icy Manipulator. And I could tap one of their mana sources. I probably should. Seeing as I'm going to bridge next turn, and then I don't care about the zombie tokens, I think that's probably the thing to do. If I didn't have the bridge, and I was going to start looking down damage from the zombies every turn, I would probably just tap the zombie. But here I think this is better. Another river, sack the delta. I mean, hopefully we don't get duressed. If we don't, and if bridge resolves, feel like we'll have a pretty good shot of winning the game, because blue-black doesn't really have a great way to deal with artifacts once they're on the field, although they could be playing like Chain of Vapor or something, some disperse effect. Discard 2 cards. They got to do it on their turn so that the Krovikan Horror comes back right away. Humility is decent, but it just cuts these in half. I could Humility to bait a counterspell. The next turn bridge. I kind of like that. I feel like bridge is a surefire card to get countered right now, so let's go for the Humility. If this does resolve, it's still not bad for us, cutting their damage in half. They're going to forbid with buyback. Discard 2 cards, counter target spell. Discarding Krovikan Horror and foil. Well, the buyback is pretty annoying, I gotta admit, but it is 3 mana. So if I tap one of their lands here, and then I tap another one of their lands next turn, and then go to the next main phase, maybe I can... actually, by tapping here... Let's just pass. I can tap at the end step if I need to, but by holding up the Mistress Factory, I can actually block a zombie. Also, the fact that they had to do that, the Krovikan Horror is creature card directly above it, so they can't actually get it back yet, unless they can, like, exile their foil. They called our bluff, because I could activate the factory, block, tap it to kill a zombie, but then I actually can't Icy. If they have a land, they're going to be able to do it anyway. I mean, we're gonna try to get this bridge down. They don't have a land. That's good. Tap an island. Ooh, Phyrexian Furnace is also really good. Tap another island. They're gonna float a blue, but I'm gonna go to my second main phase. And then we're gonna Ensnaring Bridge. They could just have a regular counterspell, but I can't do anything about that. I at least made it so they had to pay life for it. All right, that worked. And I can also Phyrexian Furnace now. All right, well, now we're feeling pretty good. Icy, playing the role of Rishadan Port, making it so that we can get the Ensnaring Bridge through the counterspell. And with no cards in hand, these zombies can never attack. We also have a Furnace to get rid of like a Squee or the Krovikan Horror. Probably Squee since we don't care about the Horror at the moment. They duress us. We have no cards in hand, so they're trying to fill their graveyard. Why would they not just discard that to an infestation? Not sure. Maybe just more cards to put in the graveyard so the Furnace can't pick something earlier? I don't know. Another Furnace? That's actually really good. Maybe should have returned something with the Eternal Dragon this turn, but returned the Eternal Dragon to our hand, that is, but oh well. Well, we've finally done what the deck's kind of trying to do. We have a bit of a stranglehold on the game, and now we just need to take a million turns to win it. I'm not saying there's no way they can get out of this. They definitely could have ways to get rid of the bridge, but all right, let's return the dragon to our hand. Windswept Heath, double Furnace here, gets rid of the Krovikan Horror. They have an Underground River, no attacks, plains, I see their island. Of course, they can counter the dragon. Right, they can counter the dragon over and over and over again. To be honest, I probably just plain cycle it then. And I use this as my 7 mana ramp spell. Yep, that's what we're doing right now. And then I'll eventually find like Decree of Justice, and I don't need to cast it. I'll cycle it, and then they can't counter that. Now that we've kind of done the thing, I'm like, oh, it's gonna take forever to win. Bring this back to hand. Of course, if I cycle it for a land now, I'm gonna have too many cards in hand. Although I guess I just Swords a Zombie then. Oh, also I just have Mistress Factories, which can block. Well, I guess one of them can't tap yet. One will block. That's important. The good news is with the Furnaces, they are limited in their ability to zombie infestation indefinitely. I'm going to tap one zombie, and if they want to attack with the other, then I can actually eat it with the Mistress Factory unless they had removal. They don't. Plains cycle, pull out of plains, untap, bring this back to hand. Seal of Cleansing, perfect. I can just blow up the zombie infestation all at once. I'll do it during their turn. They get an extra card, which could be an extra zombie. I don't think I care, though. If I do it now, they activated a bunch, and then I might have to like crack the Furnaces to exile Squeeze and things, in which case I'd actually draw cards. So that's kind of why we didn't want to do that. Gush draws a bunch of cards, sure. I guess more zombies, but again, I'm not too worried about them. Play another zombie infestation. Okay, exile the Gush, tap a zombie, no attacks. They discard a couple cards to hand size. Probably should have just discarded them to the infestation, but Psychotog and Island, so they are playing Psychotog. Ray of Revelation, well that's a pretty good draw actually. I can blow up both of these. Eternal Dragon. Okay, so how much mana do I have? 10. So I could Icy this and then Eternal Dragon. We have 2 mana left that's enough for Ray plus this. All right. Tap an island. They just let that go. So we'll do this. See if that resolves. It does. Can't attack obviously, but eventually we can get rid of the Ensnaring Bridge. That's part of why there's so many Seals of Cleansing and stuff in the deck, is that we might need to eventually blow it up ourselves, and we can do that. Of course, I realized by not doing it on the turn when they were tapped out, they do have their counterspell up again. So Ray of Revelation is not actually going to work, is it? No, so I could use it now, but there's probably not a reason to do that. So let's just wait. Waiting longer. Humility. I don't actually want to turn everything into 1/1s now, because eventually I want to blow these up. So I guess we're going to just pass here. Have an island, tap some mana for a Psychotog, 4 mana for a Wonder. All right, like an Icy down island, I guess. Ray of Revelation, destroy zombie infestation, destroy the other zombie infestation. Okay, now I don't have to worry about those. They had already F6'd, obviously, so maybe they did have something to interact with that, but that's okay. Now I can maybe get rid of the bridge eventually. Oh, Mishra's Helix. What a card. Guess I'm gonna boot up a Mishra's Factory and attack. I can pump it with the other one. If they want to like double block, then I get to like Swords one of their guys, but they don't. They just take it, so they'll take 3 here. And Mishra's Helix, like a massive Rishadan Port. I'm not going to tap it for 2 here. I might as well leave up my mana, because 2 mana doesn't really matter, but I can start tapping down their entire land base every single turn from here on out. Polluted Delta, sack that. They can currently attack with their stuff. I could Sword something so that they couldn't. I think I'm fine if they want to throw their Wonder into this, though, and then I can exile it. Yeah, they don't want to. So let's just pass. Wasteland. And boot up a Mishra's Factory. Attack. They're going to smother it. Sure, that's fine. Exile that from their graveyard. And tap down every single one of their lands in their upkeep. Polluted Delta. Cracking it right away for some reason, even though that lets me just icy it here. Thawing Glaciers, amazing. Activate Mishra's Factory. Attack. I guess it is just a 2/2 now. I can't pump it since I lost the other one, but that's fine. If they just want to trade for a zombie, I can live with that. Block with all 3. I'll kill the Wonder here and just exile it from the yard. Why can't I tap the Felwar Stone to pay for this? Oh, I'm targeting lands right now, that's why. I guess we should just tap 8. I guess I might as well just leave up my IC. Alright, 7. We'll tap 7. If they want to duress us, that's probably fine. Underground River. So I was hoping to get in for one more hit with the Mishra's Factory because I can crack the furnaces here, go up to 5 cards in hand, and I can actually just attack with the dragon, but it's not quite lethal now. Still probably the thing to do. Draw a card, go to combat, swing for 5, and then play a plains, tap down their mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't tap down everything. Actually, we'll leave their Underground Rivers now. If they want colored mana, they're going to have to pay life for it. Tap 7 of their lands, leaving up Thawing Glaciers so that I can bounce it back to hand. So in case they like Chain of Vapor, sure. Do I want to sacrifice a land to bounce like a zombie? No. Actually, maybe I should have, because I could have bounced the Ensnaring Bridge, and then I don't even have to worry about it for the dragon. I don't know. I could icy one of these down, or I could just Thawing Glaciers for more mana. Probably want to not live too dangerously. I'll tap this. They have for 2. I know they still have the counter spell, so I probably should tap them first. Although they actually can't cast it because they're double blue. Excuse me, double blue would kill them. So let's just cast the dragon. They could have like a single blue way to counter it, I guess, but we don't know about that. Or if they have a Flash Zurin Orb, they could gain life first and then use it. That'd be pretty good. They have accumulated knowledge, see if they draw anything. Down to 1 life here, and they don't. Sack our Windswept Heath for plains. We'll tap down. Might be a little weird. I'm gonna just tap down 3 of their blue sources. I could do all 4, but I kind of want to. I really want to use this Thawing Glaciers. This still prevents them from like counterspelling or anything unless they have another island. And I can still Icy Manipulator if I really wanted to. Intuition, sure. Sometimes this deck just gets all squeeze if they have their infestation thing going. But I assume that's not what they need right now. Probably like 3 Chains of Vapor or something, if they have 3 more. Or like other kill spells, edicts and things. Chainers, for example. Triple Gush. Alright, they get a Gush. They're going to use Gush. In their upkeep, another zombie infestation. Oh, I should have fetched a forest at some point so we had Ray of Revelation up. That's the whole point of the Windswept Heaths. I just used it. Well, Thawing Glaciers, get a plains here. Bounces back to hand. I assume they'll have a way to not die to the dragon. Oh, but we have a route. Yeah, if I had my agreement. Oh, also Thawing Glaciers can fetch a forest. Oh my gosh, I'm a bit of an idiot. Because if I'd just done that, I could Ray of Revelation this. They have to make a bunch of zombies and then I route. Okay, well, we just win the game. And that's all it takes. 30 minutes to do that. Tormod's Crypt, Disenchants, Abolish is all coming in. I could do like Ivory Mask, you have Shroud, so that they couldn't Intuition us, but I don't think that makes sense. Humility doesn't make much sense. Shrinking their 2/2s into 1/1s, if anything, just makes it easier for them to attack through a Ensnaring Bridge. Cursed Scroll would be decent to pick something off. Peace of Mind we don't really need. I mean, I guess, do I really need like 15 ways to blow up their thing? I mean, it is their main win con, probably, in a deck that's 112 cards big. Alright. 2 lands, Marble Diamond, double Enlightened Tutor. This is actually probably what we want to see. Enlightened Tutor is obviously card disadvantage, but that's actually not a big deal for Ensnaring Bridge, because as long as we can resolve that, we'll be fine. And discarded cards is actually good for Ensnaring Bridge, but also just like our deck is kind of a toolbox, so being able to find the right piece is nice. Windswept Heath and pass. They did play Ivory Tower. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life for X is the number of cards in your hand -4. They gain 1. I guess that's just a way to, if the game takes forever like it was, to gain some life. I mean, we should probably Windswept Heath and Enlightened Tutor and just not waste it. Although I don't think I'm going straight for the Ensnaring Bridge. Maybe a Cursed Scroll. Icy. I mean, Grafted Skullcap's decent. Maybe a Furnace. Furnace is really good. I might just want a Mana Rock right now. I don't know. I think I'm just getting a Mana Rock, actually. Let's get a Mind Stone. Bit weird, but we want to, you know, It's basically ensuring a land drop, although a land drop we have to pay for. But seeing as we only have 3 mana, I think it might be okay. Marble Diamond, Accumulated Knowledge, another Accumulated Knowledge. Getting the Phyrexian Furnace might have been good. They're going to duress us. Well, they got some options, but it doesn't really matter too much. Like, if they take Mind Stone, so be it. Abolish, I can always get a Seal of Cleansing if I really want. I think for now, we'll just let it go. I could tutor and then get a Seal of Cleansing on the board when they can't counter it. Maybe that would have been good, but I don't know. It feels like I want to wait a little bit longer. Portent. Do I want to tutor now when they have Counterspell mana up? Probably not. I think we're just holding this for a little while. Another Thawing Glaciers. Well, we're going to start hitting our land drops. That's pretty nice. They didn't shuffle with the Portent. Okay, well, this explains it. I was going to say they didn't shuffle with Portent, and yet they didn't hit their land drop, which was interesting. There's the Infestation. They only have 1 mana right now. It might be the time to Enlighten Tutor, although I guess whatever they could counter whatever we find. Oh, plus I'm going to Thaw in Glaciers, so I probably want to use that first. Thaw in Glaciers, get a Plains. We are going to Enlighten Tutor. And I could go straight for the bridge. I kind of think that's... with the Thaw in Glaciers, it's a little awkward. We can always make sure they bounce on their turn. I think bridge is better than getting like a Seal of Cleansing, because they still make a bunch of zombies. And then I guess I get to route. Actually, we don't have the mana because these are deceptively lands that don't tap for mana. I don't know. They are only going to have 1 mana here. One of these Glaciers is coming back to hand. Yeah, I think we just cast this. They probably have an Annul or something, but what can you do? Oh, they don't. Interesting. Thawing Glaciers. I think I want to Wasteland their river now. We do have 2 cards in hand, but if they make a million zombies, then we can like Swords one of them, and that'll prevent the others from attacking, and then we can route. Discard a Squee and a Krovikan Horror again. Yeah, and get back Squeeze, play an island. I think we're going to take a hit here. Oh, they don't even attack. They might not realize they were allowed to. Make another zombie. Thawing Glaciers. Realizing 2 of these Glaciers is not the best thing ever because I can't actually play 2 of them in 1 turn, but I guess the way I'm like cycling them every other turn is not terrible though. Furnace is decent. We'll see if it gets countered. Well, they're gonna Krovikan and Squee, make a zombie in response. Doesn't get countered though. Get rid of Accumulated Knowledge. Do I want to take out a Squee right now? I think probably not, because now I don't care about their... I shouldn't care about their zombies, because I am going to Swords one of these so they can't attack this time. Make more zombies on the end step. Swords one of these guys so they can't attack. Really don't care if this resolves or not. Not that I expect it to eat a counterspell. Oh, they have a Chain of Vapor for the bridge right now? That'd be annoying. Guess not. Portent. Look at the top 3 cards of our deck. Okay, well, we're going to get to shuffle them with the Glaciers anyway. So they probably should have just chosen themselves. Although they chose to shuffle anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Zombie Infestation makes another guy. Glaciers back to hand. Play a Mind Stone. And I now could go for a route. This would help protect against them destroying. Oh, but then I don't get to Glaciers, which I'm really kind of greedy about. We'll wait another turn, I think. If they do get a Chain of Vapor for the bridge, then I'm going to take a lot of damage. We're going to hope they don't find it. They did tap as if they had it before, but then they didn't use it, so maybe they did have it and just realized they wanted to wait. Or maybe they didn't have it and they were bluffing or thought they were going to do something else. I don't know. They did also then Portent in the second main phase, so it almost seemed like they just got caught up in the wrong time. Play Delta. No attacks. All right, nothing to worry about. We finally have enough planes. I'm going to grab that Forest. Not forget about it this time. Glaciers returns. Disenchant is something. I can also route it instant speed since they have mana. Counterspell mana up now. Well, 3 mana for their buyback counterspell, that is. Oh, I should use Phyrexian Furnace, probably. Zombie Infestation. I guess we're going to need to cast one of these anyway. Maybe I just go for a Disenchant on the Infestation. Oh, that worked. And then I try to route and see if they counterspell that. Well, they do have the counterspell. Well, we certainly might die to Chain of Vapor. We'll see. If not, we are still in a waiting room for, I guess, another board wipe. Disenchant. I could get rid of the Ivory Tower. I'm not really that concerned about that, though. Glaciers. Maybe we can start cracking some Mind Stones. Portent. Glacier. The thing is, if we draw too many lands, I actually won't be able to deploy, get rid of all our cards for the bridge. So I think we just keep, don't crack the Mind Stones for now, like Wasteland, for example. So then I'm going to have to throw out Disenchant out just to stop them from attacking. I could also stop using the Glaciers at some point, I guess. We're going to go to combat. I'm going to blow up their Ivory Tower. They can't attack. And yeah, if I use Glaciers and I draw another land, I basically just lose. There's no way we'll draw another land though, right? I feel like Glaciers are so slow I can't not use them, you know? Well, third land's pretty bad. I can start cracking Mind Stones to try to find a way to blow everything up. Let's wasteland them. You know, all we had to do is wait, because they're also running out of time before we are. So I probably should have not done that. I mean, we're not dead to one attack here. We just take 14. But that's 14 more than I should have taken, to be sure. And I guess if I drew another land here, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I didn't, luckily. Here's a Furnace, but now a Chain of Vapor wins them the game on the spot, whereas before I would have taken an extra turn. An extra turn where I could maybe draw into a counterspell. Or not a counterspell, a board wipe. Alright, we'll sack the Windswept Heath, grab a Plains, Felwar Stone, Thawing Glaciers, pass, crack their Polluted Delta, that's not a good sign, for a swamp. Cast the Krovkin Horror. Sacrifice it, deals 1 damage to any target. Oh my gosh. We gotta watch out for that, I suppose. Use the Thawing Glaciers. Ray of Revelation with no targets. Actually a bit unfortunate. Can't get it out of my hand. So now I shouldn't use the Glacier. I'm gonna crack a Mind Stone though. If we get 2 lands in a row, we might just die, but I think we need to draw to a board wipe. Well, that's a dragon that can block. It's something. I'll also wasteland them. Suppose our times are getting closer to each other now, though. You go straight to cleanup, hold in our upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Oh, for 1 mana? I thought this was sacrifice this creature. So actually we're gonna just die. I guess, you know, probably should read the cards and not play poorly. Don't think I have any instant speed way to gain life. Oh, I could Swords my own dragon. That's my out. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Alright, well... Oh, that was only game... that was only game 2. Jeez. Well, now we have the super fun ability to just pass as quickly as possible in this game. That is inevitably not going to be won in 2 minutes on either side. So I'll probably just cut this out of the video, to be honest, because it's not going to be very fun just watching us speed through this, I assume. They kept a 1-lander, so there actually is a potential chance that I just ramp to this dragon and can kill him with it. But now they have counterspell mana, so that seems less likely. Now we're just passing. Oh, I should have cycled the dragon and played that. Plains. But now this is just taking up time. Now I will return the dragon. Play another Seal of Cleansing, pass, because I actually have 7 mana. So next turn I can play the dragon, maybe start attacking. And I can also decree for an angel. Well, this is pretty funny. They kept a bad hand because they were just trying to go as fast as possible, understandably. And then I actually get a, I guess you could argue, aggressive hand because it has some creatures, but 7 mana creatures still not the most impressive. Smother the token, swing for 5, pass, and they decide to just give up. Well, we probably should have won that second game, and we just played a little poorly at the end there. I'm not the most patient person, and we're playing the patience deck. But we did end up winning a match, and can't take that away from me. Alright, well, is this deck any good? No, it doesn't seem like it. I wouldn't play it again, personally. It was cool that it got a trophy. I know every time a deck gets a trophy, people think, oh, this might be the new meta, or this might be a new deck that could emerge, or whatever. The thing is, if you play enough, and you just throw something against the wall enough, eventually someone's going to get a trophy with a pile, even as this. I'm not saying there aren't some cool interactions here and some good stuff, but our deck was just way too slow, inconsistent, and lost to land destruction really poorly. And again, the format is like 60% land destruction in my experience. You can play Ponza in just about every color in the format, not to mention Wastelands and Dust Bowls being in many, many decks. The video didn't end up being as long as I thought it was going to be because we got so absolutely stomped in the first 3 matches that those were over quickly. But then we made up for it in the last 2 matches by taking probably an hour and 15 to an hour and a half just in those 2 matches. Like I said, some interesting stuff, but realistically, you could probably cut a lot of these numbers down, even if you wanted to have a deck that was less susceptible to milling out. I feel like an 80 card deck is probably fine for that. Cutting 30 of these cards to make it a little more consistent probably wouldn't be that bad, especially because we have just like 4 copies of cards we don't probably need. We probably don't need 4 Humilities, 3 Ray of Revelation, 2 Wins, and 4 Rout. You know, we could probably play a couple copies of all of these, cut the deck down by about 30 cards, and still probably not mill out in most situations. But those are just my quick thoughts. It was still an interesting deck to try out, and I guess an indication that Premodern is not fully solved, even though it is a fixed format where there are not going to be new cards in it. But it was very interesting, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks so much to my supporters, including my $10 and up supporters, Howard Granger, JD NPX, Halcaz, Cody Cowell, Sty, Benedict, and DJ Vinyl. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.